All good? Well, hello and welcome, everyone. It's a very special day, and we're so happy to have all of you here with us today. My name is John Carmichael, and I'm the chair of the Ontario Science Centre. I'll have more to share shortly about what this day means for us. But first, may I turn your attention to the screens for a brief video.
Ontario Place is being rebuilt into a year-round, family-friendly destination. With world-class restaurants and dining options, more parkland, more waterfront, more ways to learn, play, and grow year-round, and more ways to get to Ontario Place quickly and conveniently. We're creating a new home for a state-of-the-art Ontario Science Centre, integrating the iconic pods and Cinesphere into the new Science Centre building, and connecting them seamlessly to the waterfront at Ontario Place. From learning about local nature to high-tech, hands-on educational exhibits, the new Ontario Science Centre will deliver immersive, innovative activities with more square footage for programming than ever before, sparking curiosity and inspiring the next generation of young scientists as it welcomes millions of visitors each year. The reimagined Ontario Place will offer more than 50 acres of free, publicly accessible spaces. The East Island will become a vibrant hub with family-friendly play areas and space for cultural events. We're preserving key heritage features while creating new spaces connected by trails, bridges, and walkways, along with year-round waterfront experiences and recreational activities. An upgraded marina will feature modern boat slips and a public plaza with open-air pavilions and flexible community spaces. Toronto's most iconic outdoor live music venue is also getting a major refresh. The redesigned, reimagined RBC Amphitheatre will become a new year-round venue for music fans and artists, with more space for concertgoers than ever before. And families will be able to relax and recharge at Therma, an all-season oasis with pools, saunas, water slides, a great selection of dining options, and fun for the entire family. To top it off, we're connecting Ontario Place to the rest of the world through the all-new Ontario line at Exhibition Station, which will also provide access to fast, convenient GO service across the Greater Golden Horseshoe, just steps away from Toronto's Billy Bishop Airport. These exciting new venues and upgraded spaces will help make the new Ontario Place an iconic destination filled with excitement and possibility for generations to come.
Again, good morning, and thank you for that warm introduction. I'm honored to be here on behalf of the Ontario Science Centre, alongside our CEO, Paul Kortnar, and Chris Tambakis, our Board Vice Chair. I want to start by thanking Premier Ford for his commitment to the Ontario Science Centre and to STEM education in this province. Today's announcement is truly a milestone moment for the Ontario Science Centre and for our province. Thanks to strong support and significant investment from the provincial government, the Ontario Science Centre has a bold and vibrant future. Here at the heart of the reimagined Ontario Place, our new Science Centre will be a modern, dynamic, and inspiring place that sparks curiosity for all ages. But what makes our new home truly meaningful is its purpose. We will bring science to life in fresh and inspiring ways in a place where everyone feels they are welcome and they belong. A place where families, students, and communities can connect, learn, and have fun together. A place that will open pathways for young people to explore careers in STEM. A place where big questions can be asked, where ideas can be tested, and where there's no limit to creativity and innovation. This announcement is especially meaningful to me. Like so many of you, I have wonderful memories of bringing my children and grandchildren to Ontario Place and to the Ontario Science Centre. Standing here today truly feels like a full circle moment. These iconic places that shaped my family, the countless Ontario families, are now poised to inspire the next chapter of discovery in our province. It's a powerful reminder of how deeply the Ontario Science Centre touches the lives of children and families across generations. I feel a profound sense of pride and responsibility for this next chapter. Together, we're building an Ontario Science Centre that will continue to inspire generations and help shape the future of Ontario. We can't wait, and thank you again for being here. And now it's my pleasure to introduce the Minister of Tourism, Culture and Gaming, the Honourable Stan Cho. Minister.
Thank you very much, John, to you, Chris, to Paul, the rest of the board, for all of your dedication. We're not here without your efforts this morning. Thank you so much. I also want to introduce some of my colleagues that are here: Minister Thanigasalam, Minister Raymond Cho, Minister Michael Kersner, Parliamentary Assistant Billy Deneau, Parliamentary Assistant Mohammed Firin, and MPP Aris Babikian. And of course, I want to thank the Premier for being here and his incredible leadership on this visionary project, as well as Minister Kinga Surma, who had a big hand in getting us to where we are this morning, who's not able to attend today. Look, growing up, I have fond memories of the Science Centre, like many of you. In fact, I was a card-carrying member of the Science Centre in my adult years. And so, like so many families across this province, I have very fond memories. The excitement of coming here, every visit, the joy, the curiosity that came with every trip, the wonders of the world, the universe on display for all of us to learn, to ask questions, and yes, of course, the silly putty in the gift shop afterwards. And Paul, I'm hoping that we still have that silly putty available at this new location. The Ontario Science Centre inspired our minds. It helped build a lifelong love of learning, exploration, science for generation of kids, and that includes me. And that's why, much like Ontario Place, it was heartbreaking to see its decline. And while past governments of all stripes, they sat on the sidelines waiting to the point where this building was literally falling apart. So I'm really proud to be part of a government that recognizes that unleashing the potential of institutions, iconic institutions like the Science Centre, are of paramount importance. It's important not just for today, but for the next generation of kids and for our province as a whole. For more than 55 years, the Science Centre has been one of Ontario's most popular, most valued cultural and public assets, bringing hands-on learning and scientific discovery to families, students, and communities across Ontario. And now it is time to turn our attention to the next 55 years and how the Ontario Science Centre can continue to deliver on its very important mandate. And while construction on the new Science Centre moves ahead, the interim location, I want to remind everyone, at Harbourfront Centre continues to operate, ensuring that visitors will still have access to high-quality educational programming just steps away from the Science Centre's future home. And I know the team, I spoke with the board yesterday, is already working on the fantastic programming that they will offer in that new permanent home. This transformation is part of a broader vision, a vision to unlock the full cultural and economic potential of Toronto's iconic waterfront. And as momentum continues to build along the shoreline, our government is taking steps to ensure that this growth is coordinated, intentional, and protected for the long term. We are laying the groundwork for a more connected, vibrant waterfront, one that strengthens tourism, supports local businesses, and welcomes visitors from all over the world. And by protecting and elevating our world-class public and cultural assets, we're showcasing Ontario as the premier destination we know it can be. The future Ontario Science Centre shows what's possible when vision and leadership intersect to create something powerful and lasting, something that childhood me and the countless science-loving kids who will come after will love for decades to come. And now, the man who's really behind leading the charge on this transformational, once-in-a-lifetime, cultural, iconic asset, we're not here, folks, without the person who's really steering this, and that, of course, is the Honourable Premier of Ontario, Doug Ford. Thank you.
Wow. You know something, folks? First of all, good morning, everyone. And I couldn't sleep, not that I sleep any night, but I couldn't sleep last night. This is stunning. This is world class. And when they first showed me the architectural designs, I was like, wow, this is going to be world class. Everyone in the world will be talking about our Ontario Science Centre. And I just want to thank you, Minister Cho, for all your hard work. and for the introduction. I'm so pleased to be back here at Ontario Place today, and one of the Ontario landmarks attractions. And I also want to thank John, Paul, and Chris. Thank you for blazing a new trail for generations to come. It couldn't happen without your support. But I know you already mentioned our team. I'll mention them again. I'm alongside here Minister Cho, Kersner, Thanagaslin, PAs Babiki, and Denault, and Ferin. And did I forget anyone there? Was that enough? Who did I? Harris, I got everyone? Okay. I also want to thank Minister Surma that went through the tough haul of getting this done. So I don't know if she's watching, but congratulations, Minister Surma, for getting this moving as well. And as I said earlier, I want to thank John for your leadership at the Ontario Science Centre, as well as Paul and Chris. It was great to be with you and so many of the industry leaders helping build our province. You know what was great, John? When I got out of the car over on the other side, some folks from the Science Centre were there, wonderful women that they're driving this whole project along with Infrastructure Ontario, the Ontario Place, and everyone else. Folks, I am pumped. I've opened up many roads and highways and hospitals and buildings and manufacturing building, but I've been dreaming of this ever since I was a city councillor, and it's coming to reality. You know, we're a world-class city, Toronto. We need world-class destinations when people come to our great city and our great province, and this is going to be iconic around the world. I want to acknowledge all the organizations that have made today possible and are helping us deliver on our vision. And first of all, Ontario Place, including when I pull in all the construction workers, they're all hooting and hollering. They're pumped up. They're going to, you know, they're working. It's going to be millions and millions of working hours that are going to be put into not just on Ontario Science Centre, but Ontario Place and all the construction workers, starting off with GIP, Ellis Don, and all of our union trades. And I'd love to see union workers here. Infrastructure Ontario. They said HPA. This is the architects. I've never met them before. I don't know them, but they are world class. I'm going to try this. Tarari Pontarini Architects. Is that good? Anyone wants anything built, call these guys because they're absolute champions. And I said to the team before, I want something iconic. My goodness, you just hit that ball right out of the park. It's still sailing across Lake Ontario. So thank you to the architectural firm. I couldn't be happier. Amico, Sassery. Those are a couple of construction companies. The Tourism Industry Association of Ontario, Destination Toronto, Destination Ontario, Waterfront Toronto, Harbourfront Centre, the Waterfront BIA, the Toronto International Film Festival, Ontario Creates, Therme Canada, Live Nation, Ontario Science Centre, and everyone else that's helping build this beautiful, beautiful destination. Folks, this is what I love when everyone collaborates and cooperates together. There's nothing that we can't build right here in Ontario. It's been just under 1 year since the people of Ontario endorsed our plan to protect Ontario, and we're getting it done. We're building a provincial economy that is more resilient and self-reliant and more able to stand up to President Trump's tariffs and anything else that comes our way. Here in Toronto, we're making record investments to support the city's growth and support people, businesses, and jobs. That includes transformational transit projects like the Ontario Line, the Yonge North Subway Extension, the Scarborough Subway Extension, the Eglinton Crosstown, and the Eglinton Crosstown West Extension, the Finch West LRT, as well as the Hazel McCallion Line in Peel and the Hamilton LRT. Folks, this country, North America, has never seen a province or jurisdiction or a city grow the way we're growing. The investment of $223 billion into infrastructure, no matter if it's building new hospitals or $29 billion of new schools and long-term care homes and highways and bridges and roads, and the list keeps going on. Like, we are on fire here in Ontario. We're moving forward. We're investing in the highways that help keep gridlock down, because, you know, gridlock, folks, I'm speaking at the Toronto Board of Trade tonight, and they always tell me gridlock is costing our province, especially the GTHA, ready for this? $56 billion of lost economic development. Well, we're going to make sure that it's not going to be losing $56 billion. We're going to be adding $56 billion and get people where they need to go faster, including Highway 413, the Bradford bypass, and the beautiful 401 tunnel that they're going to start doing some groundwork and stuff right in April. So that's going to be incredible, as well as the $73 million investment we made to speed up construction on the Gardiner Expressway, which helped work finish 15 months ahead of schedule. How do you put that into dollars? That now, 15 months earlier, traffic is moving. Mind you, the Gardiner and the DVP, I call it the parking lots, but it's still moving a lot quicker than if we didn't invest that money. These investments are keeping workers on the job and will support economic growth in Toronto and across Ontario for decades to come. As part of our plan to protect Ontario, we're also investing in our world-class tourism sector, which generates, this is one of the biggest sectors we have in the province, $33 billion every year, supporting more than 325,000 good-paying jobs across our province, and often provides first paychecks for summer students and young people. You know, Stan, I wish I was a young person getting a job here. That would be the best summer job you could ever ask for. We're strengthening the cultural institutions and destinations that have inspired generations of people across our province, and that includes Ontario Place. The new Ontario Place will be an iconic part of Toronto's waterfront, with one of the largest public parks in downtown Toronto. I'm going to repeat that, one of the largest public parks in downtown Toronto, featuring 50 acres of free public trails, green spaces, tons of trees. The mayor's going to like that one. Tons of trees, waterfront access, and family-friendly attractions, as well as Live Nation's revitalized year-round amphitheater. The place is gorgeous, the designs they have. They want to start in 28th. I'm trying to push them to 27. And of course, Therme, Canada Spa, and Water Park on the West Island. I got to tell you, I had a friend go to one of the Therme spots. I don't know where it was, somewhere over in Europe. And this is a well-seasoned person that builds a lot of buildings. He says, I've never seen a place like it. And he took pictures. It's going to be spectacular. Once complete, the revitalized Ontario Place will attract up to 6 million visitors per year, 5,700 jobs, and add $420 million to Ontario's GDP just during construction. So think of the millions and millions of hours that people are bringing home a paycheck and being able to pay rent or put a deposit down on a home or a mortgage, or maybe doing things you might otherwise not to do. This is creating massive amounts of employment. And once it's all done, and we're going to support over 2,000 full-time, part-time jobs during operations, transforming Toronto's waterfront into a world-class year-round destination. One of the main attractions of the new Ontario Place will be the reimagined Ontario Science Centre, world-class. This is going to be iconic, and it reminds me of Australia on Sydney. You know, the beautiful theater and that they have down there. That's what people are going to be talking about, the Ontario Science Centre. And again, I'm so pumped. I can't wait to meet these architects. They're the world. I just can't. I love these guys. They're going to build everything in Ontario now. Today marks a major milestone in that vision, as I'm proud to announce our government has awarded the contract to design and build the new Science Centre. The new Science Centre will be located in a state-of-the-art, fully accessible facility with more programming space than at the previous site. The Science Centre will incorporate the iconic Cinesphere. I just walked through that Cinesphere. It's going to be unbelievable. With improvements to support Ontario's film and television industry, renovated and modernized pods that will house science-themed exhibits, and interactive experiences with modern, light-filled spaces and views of Toronto's beautiful waterfront and skyline, which you can see in the final designs here today. The millions and millions of visitors coming to this Science Centre in Ontario Place will have convenient and affordable travel options, with public transit just steps away thanks to the expanded GO train service and the new Ontario Line subway at Exhibition Station, I should say. And all of this will be built by Ontario workers, and I emphasize this, so this is great. Ontario workers using Ontario steel, lumber, and other products wherever we can, so Ontario tax dollars support Ontario workers. I'm looking forward to getting the shovels in the ground this spring, and I can't wait to be back for the grand opening. I want to thank everyone involved, and may God bless the people of Ontario. Thank you.
We will now take questions from the media. Media present can line up behind me and ask their questions through the microphone. As a friendly reminder, the format is one question and one follow-up. Please state your name and your outlet before your question.
Morning, Premier. Liam Casey with the Canadian Press. The Auditor General says the Science Centre is going to cost about $1.4 billion. The contract awarded today is a shade over $1 billion. I'm wondering if you could tell us what the total amount taxpayers will be on the hook for to build the new Science Centre.
I believe it's $1 billion. I'm not too sure where the Auditor General gets her information, but here nor there, it's going to be $1 billion. Did you want to add anything, Stan? Sure.
Thank you for the question, Liam. Yeah, it's at $1.04 billion is the approximate cost that we've calculated. But what is included in that is a 30-year maintenance program for the new Science Centre. You can see that the old Science Centre at 770 Don Mills, as great as it was in its heyday, it started to fall apart. And I think part of that challenge and why it got there was the lack of maintenance on the building itself. So the budget includes making sure that the maintenance is looked after on the physical building, so that we're not just putting great exhibits in there, that we're making sure that the building is cared for. And the other great part about the new Science Centre is it's a much more efficient use of the exhibit space. And because you've got these pods, one of them that we're in right now, you've actually got the ability to bring the exhibit space elsewhere and outside. You can see that we're right here on the most iconic waterfront in the entire country. There's an opportunity here, and I'm having conversations with the board and the staff about this, about bringing the education and the learning experience, not just within the exhibit walls, but to the surrounding environment that we have readily, very easy to access just outside. So we're very proud of what's coming here. It's going to be, as I said, a transformational opportunity to have a true cultural iconic asset right here on the most famous waterfront in Canada.
Thank you. Premier, on another topic, the assault charges against the Lindsay homeowner were dropped this morning. That was the case where you said something was broken with the system.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if you think that the system actually worked, or if you think the police need to think twice before laying charges in the first place.
Well, if what I understand, if the guy breaks into your house and he has a crossbow ready to kill you, it's free game. You protect your life, you protect your family, and there isn't one person anywhere in Ontario, anywhere, that if someone's breaking in your house and they're going to harm your children, harm your spouse, then, and I don't think they had children in the room, to be fair, but you're protecting your property. Guys, if you break into someone's home, you need to pay the price. I'll tell you, anyone breaks into my home, it's going to be a bad day for them, real bad day. And every person in here will fight for their lives to protect their home and their families. And unfortunately, one man did that, protect his little 4-year-old, and that dirty scumbag shot him to death in front of his kids. That guy needs to go to jail for the rest of his life. Put him in a hole somewhere for the next 100 years. Those 4 little kids watching their dad get executed in front of his wife and his 4 kids, it's disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. And we have to start making sure these people stay in jail. Not going out for bail once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. They make a mockery of our justice system. That's what they're doing. Anyways, this is supposed to be a good news story. Sorry for ranting. Let's get back to Ontario Science Centre and Ontario Place. Thanks for getting me going, buddy. I appreciate that, Lee. Thank you.
Hi, Premier Tina with City News.
Tina, how are you?
Good, thank you. And I am going to ask about Ontario Place. My first question is just, are we on track to open this building in 2029?
As far as I know, that's going to be up to Stan and John and his team to get things moving, and I'm confident they will. They're going to go full steam. I am just so excited about this. I can't begin to tell you. This is going to be incredible. We're changing the face of not just Ontario, but Toronto specifically. There's so many conventions that are coming in here. And by the way, we're going to tackle that next. I won't get into it, but we're last in convention centers around the world. Conventions aren't coming here because we're last place, 24 out of 25 cities. So we're going to build something iconic, world-class, and we're changing Ontario. We're changing Toronto and the GTHA.
I do have to ask about the original building. It's obviously survived a lot of snow this winter, record snowfall in Toronto. I know you refer back to those engineers' reports when we ask about this. They never explicitly said a full closure was necessary. So why not, keep it open while we wait for the construction of this building, which is still years away?
Do you have kids? Would you
I do.
put them? Okay, would you put them in that building? Because I wouldn't put my kids in there. And as the premier, I'm not taking a chance. God forbid those roofs have collapsed. The same design, those same roof designs have collapsed many places around the world. It's unsafe.
Many schools are built with those same roofs as well.
Again, thank you for that. But it's a rundown old building. I get it. People are passionate. People want to keep the same dirt road. They want to keep the same buildings. Compare that to this. Compare the locations. Compare the destination. Guys, come on. I get it. But I've learned many things in politics. Don't let the 10% that don't want to build anything. They don't want the 413. They didn't want the 407. They don't want the Bradford bypass. They don't want anything built. They don't want this revitalized. They want to turn this into an old rundown parks with dandelions. Don't listen to the 10%. The 10% want to direct 90% of the population that wants to move forward, that wants to make sure we have great economic development and attract people from around the world. We have to move forward, and the 10% are usually the noisiest. The 10% that didn't want to change this, John, I'm going to ask you, can you please make sure they're first in line? I want to thank them for their passion. I get the passion. You're used to an old building, that's fine. But make sure everyone that's bought a membership, they need to have priority, making sure they're the first in line, and they're going to love it. And I want to thank them for carrying that membership. They're hardcore, devoted people to the Science Center. I actually think the world of them. So we need more people like those folks. And I also would like to make sure that all the construction workers, they're right in the same lineup. So we got to take care of the people that built it and the people that have supported the Science Center for many years. They're great, incredible people.
Premier, in the renderings, we don't see the $400 million Garage Mahal parking garage. And I'm just wondering, is that intentional? Are you thinking about moving it to across the street back to the exhibition grounds or something like that?
Rob, I like you. But you can't help yourself. I'm going to give you serious counseling. It's not a Taj Mahal parking lot. It's a parking lot that we're going to garnish income. It's going to be a massive asset. I don't know where you want to park the people out in the lake or whatever, but it's going to be right over there. It's going to be a few thousand spaces. It's going to generate a massive amount of income. We're going to pay it down, and then hopefully you and I are still around when we're sitting there counting all the money coming in from the parking once the amphitheater gets done and this gets done. And we have over 6 million people that are coming here. Hopefully a majority will take transit, but a lot will park, and we're going to make a lot of money on that parking lot. My dad taught me, Rob, if you ever invest in a parking lot, low overhead, low amount of salaries, and you make a killing. Unfortunately, I never invested, neither did my dad, so we stuck with the label business. But anyways, thank you.
You mentioned in your remarks about conventions and Toronto's not doing very well in conventions. Are you hinting at changes to the Metro Convention Center, a renovation there? Because that's quite an old facility. Yeah. Is something looming on that front?
So we're known as one of the worst convention center places anywhere in the world. You go into the convention center, you go up, you go down, you go up, you go down, you go across the street to the other building, and it's only on 6-7 acres. Stay tuned, folks. Another world-class announcement is coming right here to Toronto. We're going to go from last to first in the world.
When is that? Sorry, just follow up, Premier. When would that be? Like soon, like this year, you'll be announcing it?
Yeah, this year we'll announce it. But I'll make sure I call you first.
Thank you.
Thank you. Do you know what the problem is, folks? I really like these media. I do. You know these guys for 10 years. They take a few shots at you, but I'm all good. I got a thick skin.
Hi, Premier. Have Therme or Live Nation helped pay for any of the ads your government has run promoting the Ontario Place development? And if not, why not?
I'm not too sure if they're paying or not. Stan, do you know if they're paying? No, we're taking care of it? Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, you know, when you have a project like this, you have many partners that come to the table, whether they're a successful bidder on the procurement process through the marina or the live stage, you know, the garage goes out for procurement as well. We're all rowing in the same direction to build this legendary infrastructure. There'll be a day when nobody will remember who was responsible for revitalizing this waterfront, and there'll be a day where my kids and their kids are the ones that are the benefactors of this. So, you know, we're excited about the bigger vision, which is an actual destination spot on the most iconic waterfront in Canada. That's what this announcement is about this morning. We're excited for this because people are going to enjoy this for generations to come.
I hope they never forget who got this going. And it's not about me. It's about our government that's pro-business, pro-attractions, pro-jobs. This is going to go down in history. They're going to remember that the PC party actually had this vision.
What do you say to taxpayers who don't think that it's a good use of their money to run ads making this project and the PC party look good?
Okay, well, that's okay. So let me answer it directly. This is going to create millions and millions of working hours. We have to promote Ontario. We have to promote Ontario to the largest market in the world that's south of the border. I want Americans to come to Toronto. I want Americans to come to Ontario. I want people from around the world to come to Ontario and visit the Ontario Science Centre, visit Ontario Place, hop in the car, drive down to the destination Niagara. Folks, we're moving on all cylinders. This is absolutely fantastic. It's going to pay back dividends 10 to 100 times. It's a no-brainer. You have to advertise in business. Another thing I've learned in business, things are going tough. Never cut your sales force, never cut your marketing department. They're the ones that are going to revitalize your company, or in this case, a beautiful destination. We're going to tell the world that Ontario is the #1 destination to come and visit.
Hi, Premier Jeff Gray, Globe and Mail. I just wanted to see if you and the Minister do you still stand by the rationalization, leaving aside the designs and you call them stunning and so on, leaving aside all that. Do you still stand behind the reasoning that this is cheaper than keeping the existing building open? Because the math doesn't seem to work on that.
Oh yeah, no, the math works real well. That was an old written. Well, I'm sorry, but the old one, terrible location, first of all, and secondly, it's decrepit. The stories I saw, everything or heard from mold to, it was just unsafe. But to tear it down and try to rebuild it, I'm going to pass to you, Stan, because you're more familiar with it than me. But I'll tell you, it would probably take twice as long, and you got an old dumpy building. Folks, media, I got my OPP, get the defibrillator out, because if you once come out here and say, this is incredible what you've done, I would keel over of a grabber. I would. Okay, but go ahead.
It's not our job.
But it is your job, to be honest.
Thank you, Premier. And Jeff, you know, when it comes to the old location, look, I mentioned in my opening remarks, I'm a former card-carrying member of this place. I saw what it used to be and where it was going. And it just, sometimes you got to accept that, you know, the patchwork's not going to work anymore. That was the case with this building at 770 Don Mills. You know, it was a transit desert until the Ontario line was coming in. It's still not optimal for revenue optimization. Let's compare it to being on the most iconic waterfront at the doorstep of the economic engine of the the country and what's going on around here. Like whether you're going to a Scepters game, a Tempo game, going to the X, seeing a concert at the RBC stage, or, you know, you have a boat over here at the marina, or you're at the splash park with your kids, or enjoying the sunsets on the West Beach. There's an opportunity for that energy to draw those 6 million visitors every single year, so you have those options. The story has to make sense for tourism, which, as the Premier mentioned, is a $34 billion a year industry. These are huge numbers. And what we have in an opportunity of bringing that synergy together in a destination is saying that you have those options. So maybe a visitor's not going to be staying here for 1 or 2 days. Maybe it's 1 or 2 weeks. We've given them the reason to be here. The Science Center is part of that story. It's so much more than just the physical building. It's part of that story that we're telling, that we're saying we're no longer going to accept Ontario Place sinking into the lake for the better part of 2 decades. We're going to restore it to the glory it should have always been, and it's going to be a destination for people from all over the world. This is a truly transformational opportunity we have today.
And as a follow-up then for the Premier or for the Minister, are there still plans outstanding? Is there still a procurement to come for hospitality or restaurants or something at Ontario Place, or is this it? Because there was talk about that, and then it seemed to fade away. So is this all we've got, or is there more to come?
Stay tuned, like the Premier said. This is just the tip of the iceberg on the story we're telling on the waterfront, whether it's the harborfront revitalization, food and beverage, of course, procurement will be going out as well, the marina. This is part of that story I was talking about, Jeff, and I know the Premier's holding his tongue, because when he says that great things are coming to the waterfront, he means it. I mean, this is going to be one of those transformational moments that we will look back on in history and say, I remember when this was announced. And this skyline will be unrecognizable thanks to the leadership of the Premier. And I can't wait to share some of those details to come. But to answer your question very directly, lots more on the way.
Thanks, Dan.
Just to clarify before I get to my questions, it's Lorenda Redicop with CBC.
Lorenda.
When you're talking convention space, are you talking also at Ontario Place?
No, just stay tuned. That's my problem. I don't hold my tongue. That's my biggest downfall. Anyways, just stay tuned, Lorenda. It's going to be jaw-dropping. Like, this is jaw-dropping. Wait for the plans. It's going to be wow.
Pierre Poilievre is going to be speaking at noon, talking about Canada-U.S. relations. We understand he is going to be mentioning President Donald Trump. What do you want to hear from the federal Conservative leader that maybe we haven't heard before?
Well, I just want to hear that he's going to work collaboratively with our federal government. I don't care who's the Prime Minister. It could be the Red Party, the Blue Party, probably never the Orange Party, but we will, I work with anyone, and I don't care if Pierre ever became Prime Minister, I'd be working with him. I work well with the Prime Minister right now. So let's all work together. Let's start diversifying our trade, which we're doing. Let's start cutting taxes, putting money back into people's pockets and businesses so they can reinvest. That's what I believe in. So I wish him all the best, by the way. I have nothing against Pierre whatsoever. So
it's been a year since it was right near the end of the election campaign.
Yes.
And you said you wanted to be Premier forever. A year later, do you still want to be doing this job forever?
I want to be Premier forever. I'm just pumped up. We're getting things done. But I don't get the credit. It's about everyone else we're working with and my team. I would not be here if it didn't have the best team. Our family's been in politics for 3 decades, 3 generations. I've never seen a more talented, qualified team ever in politics. So I just want to thank our team and all the collaboration that we're working with. Again, I love Wab Kinew. He's an NDPer. I told him I'm going to give him some political counseling, but I love the guy. He's amazing. Same with David Eby. Same with Premier Holt, being a Liberal Premier. We don't care. We all work together. Same with Olivia Chow. Olivia's going to see this and she's going to say, you're right. This is beautiful, stunning. I like Olivia Chow. She's doing a good job, and we're going to continue working with her. So I forget about the politics. I don't care what political stripe you're from. If it's good for Ontario, we're going to work well together. If you attack Ontario, it's not going to be a good day for you, because I got to protect the people.
Good morning, Premier.
And that's a message to President Trump, too.
Momin Qureshi, 680 News Radio. I don't know if this is for you or for the minister. The old Science Center was more than 500,000 square feet. I just wanted to know, A, what is the square footage on the new one? And B, if it is smaller, can you explain how that means there'll be more space for programming in a smaller building?
I'm really glad you asked that question, Moment. So the old Science Center was approximately 500,000 square feet. The new Science Center is going to be approximately 400,000 square feet. The facility itself will be 220,000 square feet. But the story is so much more than that. If you look at the old Science Center, and I'm not sure the last time you were in that building, but I remember the last time clearly that I was as an adult thinking, I've got to give up my membership. I just remember looking around the building thinking, what an incredible, inefficient use of space. Large hallways, lots of office space, big pillars and barriers in the way. You had to go a long distance between exhibits. I mean, it just didn't make sense for the flow of learning. And anyone with kids can tell you, you know, if it's a long travel time between exhibits, you can start to lose the experience, the attention spans. This is completely different. When you're looking at the 220,000 square feet of the building itself with 120,000 square feet of a direct exhibit space, it's efficient, it flows, it makes sense. Look at the pod we're sitting in. There's a story of 5 pods that are 40,000 square feet. Some of them have these iconic views of the skyline behind us looking out across the lake. You can see Hamilton clearly. As on a clear day, you'll see Niagara, the mist off the falls. You can look to the east. You really get a sense of where we are and drawing that nature into that learning experience. So not only do you have a more efficient flow for the learning experience, you have the opportunity, as I said, to draw the outdoors in and the indoors out to make that part of the learning experience. And as I said to the board, I'd really like to see us encompass all 4 seasons into that learning experience. And what better place to be than right here on the most iconic waterfront in Canada.
But the actual exhibit space is a lot larger than the old exhibit space.
Premier, question for you on another matter. Yesterday at City Hall, a report came to the Infrastructure Committee about life after speed cameras, saying that some of the measures that you want, speed humps, roundabouts, those types of things, could take up to 13 years to build out, and that some of those things are just not possible in some of the main routes in the city. They're not practical. And that had some councillors very concerned about the safety of children, and that maybe, unfortunately, God forbid, some of them could die. And one councillor went so far to say, if that happens, that you should be held responsible then for that. So what's your kind of take on the time?
Here we go. Only the radical left at City Hall, the most dysfunctional political arena in the entire country, always has been, always will be, that says it takes 13 years to build a speed bump. That's the problem. Those people should not be reelected. Hand that over to me. I'll show you how to do a roundabout in months opposed to 13 years. I'll show you how to do a speed bump. What they forget, I lived 4 years down there. I know all the shenanigans and all the games they play. You know, if you left it up to them, they'd destroy everything in their path. And everyone would be driving around on a horse and cart. So I just got to ignore them. If you want a speed bump, rather than Parkside Drive, is it? That they gave out 70,000 tickets. Let me repeat that. 70,000 tickets. Wouldn't someone with a half a brain think, you want to slow down traffic? Let's put some speed bumps in there. That would actually probably take a week to get done if they expedited it, because they know the cost of them, and put them in. As simple as that. Simple as that.
Hi, Premier. Siobhan Morris, CTV News. I'm wondering about your proposal to give more powers to special constables on transit to deal with drug use. Can you explain what the problem is you're trying to solve there, and some of the reaction we've heard in recent days that it further victimizes people who are already vulnerable?
Okay, here we go again. So, do you understand people are scared to go on the subways right now? They do not feel safe on our subways. We have TTC constables, I think the world of them. They don't have full powers. I don't believe they should have full powers. Toronto police should have full powers. But when you're sitting there and some guy's drugged out, he has a needle in his arm, jacking it into his arm, it's ridiculous. They need to get off the subways and make the subway the safest subways. Now, you talk about help. No other government has put in $530 million to create heart hubs. Heart hubs that they're going to put a shelter over their heads. They're going to get them off drugs, give them as much help as possible, find them gainful employment. That's what we believe in. I sympathize for these addicts. I want to help them. But I'll tell you one thing, I'm not going to have some drug injection site shooting up all over the streets, needles everywhere. I talk to these people that live in the neighborhoods. They despise them because they make their area unsafe. And then they need money for drugs, so they start breaking into garages, start breaking into places. You know, I know the system inside and out. We're going to help these people. We're spending hundreds of millions of dollars to help these people, and I want to get them back on their feet and be productive in society. That's what I want to do. I don't want them shooting up in the subways. Unacceptable.
I was looking for your reaction to the early closure of the Diageo plant in Amherstburg. The union there is really upset. They say that they don't believe your government tried hard enough to change the tide there, that you were more focused on investments in other parts of the province.
Well, I totally disagree. I'm going to have to give the guy down in Unifor a call, because we're committing over $1 million. But by the way, if I didn't do anything, they'd get this, zero. I fought like hell, and we're getting $23 million off Diageo. That would have never, ever happened. And they're closing the plant 2 days earlier, but they're getting paid, their employees. A lot of them are heading south down to Stellantis, but I think half of them have been employed down there, and I think there's 60 left that haven't been employed. We're going to make sure that we put it at the top of the list on our economic development strategy to attract companies down there to open up and be very supportive of the community. We're also, as a government, going to go in there and find out, what do they need? Do they need a community center? What do they need? So we're supporting them in a massive, massive way. But I promise you, I'm going to call head of Unifor. No one fought harder in this entire country for their members than I did.
That concludes our press conference. If everyone could stay up there for a group
Hold on,
photo.
Jamie gets one more here. Well, go ahead, Jamie. Yeah. Yeah, thanks. Yeah.
Over here, it's labeled as temporary.
Well, yeah, no, the exhibition, they can do what they want. I'm going to focus on here, and we're going to bring some spectacular things to this site. Stay tuned for another announcement. But folks, I'm going to give you the positive approach. The glass is half full all the time with me. We're creating endless amounts of jobs, opportunities, world-class destinations, world-class sites like Ontario Science Centre, like Ontario Place. There's going to be millions of people from around the world. They're going to come here and have the best visit. We're going to need more hotels, better convention center. There's so many things happening right now. We're building the largest transit system in all of North America, getting people from point A to point B. We're uploading the Gardiner and the DVP. So this is going to be incredible. And we're going to keep staying positive how we're moving this province forward, no matter if it's building the largest nuclear build-out in the world with the SMRs, leading the world, or the critical minerals. And by the way, PDAC, the largest convention, is coming to Toronto this week coming. Things are happening. Things are moving, even under the tough times and under attack by President Trump that's trying to attack us. We're fighting like we've never fought before. We're using every tool in our toolbox. We have the greatest jurisdiction anywhere in the world, the smartest, the brightest people in the world right here in Ontario, and we're going full steam. So thank you, everyone, and God bless. We lost a great counselor, Giorgio Mammoliti. You know, he was a colorful guy, to say the least, but our prayers and thoughts go out to his family, and God bless him. And again, our condolences. Thank you.